Let's go! Big bang, big fall, Christmas cake, I took it all. Big suit, big lies, now they're done, I'm on the rise. Corporate giants in my sight, came for me, now they fight. Red suits, green cash, burn it down, light the ash. Holiday flames, watch 'em blaze, I'm the Grinch of your last days. Big bang, big fall, Christmas cake, I took it all. Big suit, big lies, now they're done, I'm on the rise. Big bang, big fall, Christmas cake, I took it all. Big suit, big lies, now they're done, I'm on the rise. Big bang, big fall, Christmas cake, I took it all. Big suit, big lies, now they're done, I'm on the rise. Big bang, big fall, Christmas cake, I took it all. Big suit, big lies, now they're done, I'm on the rise. Deck the halls with shattered pride, they can't run, they can't hide. Tinsel wrap around their throne, I take it all, leave 'em alone.
You're reading that right. Check it out. It says Ubisoft reportedly working on buyout plans, currently looking for a deal that would allow the Gilman family to stay in control of the company. Now, you might be wondering, how does that work? Well, it doesn't, really. And it's having quite a devastating effect on the deal because, as we were going to find out going down here, most of this explains the situation in the boardroom, that it's just kind of the tension and where things have led. There's no like burst out or anything like that. It's just sort of like things are intense at the moment, and Spencer's outlining the current climate of the situation. And so what's being explained here is that for those unfamiliar with the deeper intricacies of corporate finance and business terminology, a management buyout, which is what's being proposed, entails a company's leadership with the possible financial assistance of other major investors, Tencent, buying out all the publicly outstanding shares of a given entity in order to take the company private and assert a more direct control over its future decisions. While now again, the sources that were giving this information did not come out and like say, hey, by the way, it's all going to work like this, and this. Didn't do that. You know, as always, it's never that good, right? So what the issue is, though, is that the Gilman family wants to still stay in control of this. And I highlighted this part because it's important. It says, as for Tencent, the pair of reporters, these people who were informed by the insiders, were informed that the company is currently unsure of whether or not it will actually participate in the buyout. Their decision resting on whether or not Ubisoft will honor their request to have a greater say on the future board decisions, including cash flow distribution. We talked about this in a previous video, that if they were to have their way, Tencent wants everybody that sits on the board to be receiving more money back for their intention of bringing the company private. So, just so that's clear. However, despite this slow and steady strategy, the China-based gaming giant has supposedly expressed concern that should they decline to fund Ubisoft's privatization efforts, any other company, right? It's like Sony, Bungie, Nintendo, anybody that's got the cash can roll up and basically perform a hostile takeover of Ubisoft front to back. This is one of those catch-22s, is game of chicken sort of thing. And so why they're kind of having a hang-up about this is because of the Gilman family wanting to retain control of the situation. Now, this comes to us from Game Reporter, and as the title reads here, Ubisoft buyout talks stalled over control disputes. Now, again, this sets up the history of the whole thing, the background of the deal, but here's the sticking point, right? And so this is the situation. The crux of the current impasse is the Gilman's family desire to retain control over Ubisoft. Sources close to the matter reveal that the Gilmans are keen on maintaining their long-standing influence over the company's direction, a sentiment rooted in their history of resisting past takeover attempts, most notably from Vivendi in the 2010s. Conversely, Tencent, a tech giant with vast resources and a significant stake in the global gaming industry, is reportedly pushing for more than just a financial investment. They are seeking a stronger voice in the board decisions, which would allow them to influence Ubisoft's strategic direction more directly, as I had pointed out here. And so, one way or another, Tencent will end up in control of the company in this mode, okay? Now, you might be wondering, why are they even humoring this with the Guillemons? And the thing is that it was pointed out by this user here. This is Nate Hodebre. If you'd like to follow him, it's at DJINNBARTIMAEUS. It's right up here. And Nate Hodebre had this to say, and he says, "It's an interesting pattern with the stock market, similar to what happened in October. Stock price in the gutter, Tencent indicates interest in a buyout, news leaks of the buyout through anonymous sources before Tencent agrees to negotiate terms. Stock price recovers, giving Ubisoft a cushion. Ubisoft tries to leverage the new stock price against Tencent. Tencent is still unsure of terms and now uncomfortable with the increased price. Negotiations stall." And here we are. The stock price remains steady-ish at a higher point due to the possibility of a buyout. We can look at it right here. This fellow was very kind to produce the screenshots, and as you can see, this whole situation is, of course, downhill and whatnot, but these spikes have been corresponding with announcements that Tencent will be taking over Ubisoft's decision-making. Even Endymion weighed in on this with his sources that are talking from inside of Ubisoft's, war zone, according to him. We'll check it out. He says right here, this is Endymion, by the way. This is Endymion TV, ENDYMIONYT, Endymion YT over on X. And he has this to say: "I tried to tell people that Ubisoft is going to likely get sold off. It's for fuck's sake, but FFS. I got people from that company telling me the whole place is a nightmare. They got project managers at Ubisoft who've never made games before that can't speak English or French correctly, pushing people around. Honestly glad Ubisoft will eventually get sold off. Maybe the IPs that people want will finally get made into actual games that aren't slop." So his insiders are explaining to him that it's not only, as you saw in the intro, are there like people making their first game with this Assassin's Creed Shadows game, right? The most culturally sensitive iteration of this franchise yet. Everybody else at the French studios, they apparently are not very capable of communicating what's going on. So it's chaos front to back. People aren't able to get their ideas through, and it slows the whole process down, as well as confuses people on what the results should be. And again, we saw how this goes. Just 6 months after X-Defiant was released out into the wild, and it was shut down. Well, it's scheduled for shutdown sometime in June of 2025. And so they will not be allowing new players to join this, by the way. It's over with. So if you are an X-Defiant player, if you're an X-Defier, if you will, your pool of players, your possible matches are going to continue to shrink to nobody, because your friends can't come join you anymore, and they won't be allowing in-game purchases anymore, so you're stuck. It's over with. And so that's a situation that you're facing. X-Defiant is apparently there just to occupy space, as opposed to just flipping the switch off and saying, "Screw you guys," which is basically what they're saying in the long term. And this all happens, right? All of this burbling, bubbling chaos with Ubisoft is going on, while Marvel Rivals from NetEase, right, another Tencent-affiliated tech group, releases Marvel Rivals to 10 million players in less than 72 hours, okay? That is it's not a record or anything, it's just one of those incredible demonstrations of just what doing it right will do for you, okay? Now, they did a little bit more than Genshin-ify Overwatch, but it's not too far removed from that situation. It is a bit more gacha-y, so it has a bit of that Genshin touch to it. I highly recommend you give it a try. If you would like to see us play it on this channel, we will work toward getting that to happen here. We'll happily make that happen somehow. If not, I'll stream myself playing it, and we'll meet people online, we'll hang out and do stuff like that with other people in the audience, all right? So let me know if you want to see that. We're happy to do that. I'm excited about Marvel Rivals. It does annoy me that a Chinese company is the one that came up with this. I have absolutely nothing against the Chinese people. I have everything against their government. Okay? You name it, I got a problem with it in the CCP, all right? Just irritates me that under that kind of ironclad, absolute, like, mind controls kind of stuff, something cool like this came out. In my country, the US, we're still trying to figure out how bathrooms work. And I'm just really... It's embarrassing. It really is. And I hope that Ubisoft over in France, I hope the developers see this. And I hope they're grinding their teeth. How do we get people to take an interest in what? We need a Marvel contract. I hope that they're all trying to figure out what they're doing wrong and they're all getting it wrong. Okay? I really do. I hope they don't figure it out. I really don't. Because in my opinion, what's going to happen is that Ubisoft is going to end up being a buffet line. These discussions are going to dissolve, and then someone's going to come along and decide, well, I don't want this huge boot camp of SJW, DEI, Rainbow Warrior stuff. So you guys at Ubisoft can deal with that. Maybe you can be some kind of like kids camp for gamers, whatever you want to do. But we're going to take all your IPs here, okay? We're going to take your Far Cry. We're going to take your Assassin's Creed. We're going to take your Tom Clancy. We're going to take your Rainbow Six. We're going to take your X-Defiant you don't want anymore. And we're going to go hog wild and make crazy things with it. We're even going to do crazy things with Rayman. Maybe he gets a Ray girlfriend. Who knows? And that's, unfortunately, what I think is going to happen is that they're going to put this sort of pressure on Ubisoft to give up the goose. And again, I'm in favor of like keeping everything together and like having the company from the top down reformed. But that's not going to happen without Tencent getting control of it. And so this is something we all really need to kind of get comfortable with because it's going to continue to happen as these game companies fold. I mean, it is hard not to take a look at Marvel Rivals and really just kind of stand in awe of what's possible with this. Mute that. But kind of stand in awe of what's capable in when you're not trying to conform to an agenda. Or at least not trying to conform to an agenda so hard. Now, I bring that up because there is chat censorship in this. You can't say things about Taiwan, and you can't question the CCP. You certainly can't bring up Tiananmen Square. So there are China-centric limitations on speech in this game right here with Marvel Rivals. But by and large, visually, and as the attitude of the game suggests, they did not give in to the agenda-driven storytelling that we saw in Overwatch as it melted down into shipping and all sorts of, I bet you didn't know, and my secret pronouns are, and all this stuff, and just sort of corruptive influences on what you'd expect out of just a game that you play with your friends and compete around the world with others, And so that's why this is important, right? And again, it's why it irritates me that a company owned by the CCP produce this, because there's no earthly reason why our game companies here in the West couldn't produce this domestically. There's no reason why. There's no reason why Ubisoft couldn't put out something like this. But the source of the problem is, and I don't qualify it as a reason, it's more of a disease, I guess, a decay, a mind virus, if you will. And what we're actually seeing with Ubisoft and these other companies is a resilience against success for the sake of ideology. And that's why the Guillemons being taken away isn't going to solve anything. That's why even cleaning out most of the seniority inside of Ubisoft isn't going to clean anything. Because like Marc Cotier has understudies. He has people that will carry on these crazy agendas going forward. The only option that you have, the only option that's available to us, is to simply go out and replace them. It's that easy. We don't get another choice in like, how this is going to work. They have to be replaced. Either these game companies fold and a new company comes along, or the employees themselves are completely shifted out. It's the only way these companies survive. It's really the only way the gaming development industry survives in the West. We can't operate on just a handful of them doing something that doesn't piss us off all the time, okay? We've got to go back. I wouldn't say go back. We've got to progress forward to where we're not trying to piss people off with our creations. Wouldn't it be great if we didn't have a development team that was trying to dunk on their dad while making a game? Yeah. And that's what you see right here. This is what you see with the Marvel Rivals advertisements and the gameplay and what you're getting up to with your friends. This stuff embraces the lore of the game as it exists, the lore of the universe as it exists, and it doesn't want to be more than that. It doesn't want to teach you how to live your life. It wants you to spend money. What a concept, right? Remember when you went to the movies and the main character wasn't like womp 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 womp, be better. Remember that? It was great. It was great when the characters didn't do that, and look what's happening in Marvel Rivals. None of these characters are doing the, haha, didn't know my pronouns, did ya? None of that. None of it. All right? So just, I guess, try to separate the CCP from it like I am. I'm trying to believe that NetEase is a group of people that really enjoyed the Marvel Universe when they represented the big book of Marvel stuff and decided to go crazy with it all. I really want to hope that that was the case. But I also recognize that they have their censorship involved too. So there's really no escaping it at this point. You're either going to deal with China's censorship or you're going to deal with the West's censorship. That's what you got. Japan, unfortunately, is siding with the West on this one at the current time. Maybe that'll turn around, but at present, it doesn't look too good. You'll have to let me know what you think down in the comments below, and also, just a reminder, if you want to see us play Marvel Rivals, let us know and we will get involved with the game. We'll organize some kind of streaming thing. Maybe we can meet up with you and your friends and play the game together. Let's look forward to something fun, right? It's a dark time with everything else going on, and so let's just kind of look forward to the future. 2025 is looking bright. We got a brand new president in January. It's going to be great, all right? It's going to be great. Unfortunately, it's going to be great along with Marvel Rivals, but whatever. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'm not shitting on the game, okay? I'm not. I'm just disappointed that we couldn't make it here in America. I really am. Oh, it makes me sad, dude. Let me know how you feel, guys, and as always, good luck out there.